Now, one of the weird things about us working from home is that we're home, right? So you have all the people who are around you, but you're also, if you do what I do, people are used to seeing me in a studio, or they're used to seeing me out by a live truck or at a live scene, but they're not used to seeing like the chaos of my home and all this stuff. So there was a level of adjustment, not only for me to have people I don't know in my house, and that is kind of how it feels, but also for my family as well. And this is important for you guys. When you choose that quiet space, like I talked about in the last session, choose a space that you can control. So when I started doing this, I used the kitchen background over like 3 feet that way. But what I realized was I live in a house full of boys. And when boys get up in the morning, you never know who's going to be running around in like boxer shorts or doing crazy things. And I needed to have an area behind me that I could control. And this area back here, I might have a dog running behind me, but I didn't have to worry about somebody in my house running behind me. So it helped me control the area, which also helps you control everything behind you. Because when you are doing your Zooms or you're doing your live reports, people are always looking behind you. I do it myself. When I see people being interviewed in the evening news and they have a bookcase, I am totally trying to figure out, what are they reading? What's on that bookshelf? What award is that they've got on the shelf? It's like totally natural. So every morning when I start all of this, I have to actually clean up the living room and make sure that there's nothing weird behind me. So for example, let's look behind me here. I'll show you. Here's one of the things that's here today. I got toys. So this was behind me. This would be one of the things that probably at 3 in the morning I'd be, what is this called again?
What?
This.
It's a TIE fighter.
I know, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see if he was paying attention. Yeah, it's usually like all kinds of Star Wars stuff that's all over the place. So control your background, and then control a space where you don't have to worry about people behind you. One other thing is, I know a lot of you guys, anybody who's in school, your sanctuary is probably your bedroom, right? Because it's the place you can go to where hopefully people are going to leave you alone and let you have a little privacy. One thing I'll tell you is try to look for a corner in your room that you can keep as like a real neutral background. We had somebody on representing a big company the other day who was on our news to talk about super serious things. It had to do with fires and turning power off. And this person was recording a Zoom in her bedroom. And the only thing people at our station were commenting on was the fact that her bed wasn't made. It was all messy behind her. So if you have important things to talk about, you're looking to keep the background neutral, to keep it so that it's not distracting. Because if somebody is looking behind to see, is that a TIE fighter? Is that a submarine? Why does she have a submarine behind her? They're not really listening to what you say. So a really nice, clean, neutral background is really important. And all the basics are important. So having like good headroom. So right now I might tilt that down just a little bit more. And probably I'd move over so that I don't have the horns of that thing coming out of my own head, because that would be kind of weird. So take a second before you start recording things. Take a second to look and see, is there anything in the way this is set up that takes away from my message, takes away from my storytelling? And if you're interviewing somebody on Zoom, you have to help them look good, because your job is to make people look good. I always tell people that when I interview them. And because they usually feel uncomfortable, because why wouldn't you? It's a very vulnerable thing to do. But I always tell them, my job is to make you look good. My job is for you to not even think about any of this stuff so that you can get your message across, and we can tell this story, and you don't have to feel uncomfortable like you don't look very nice or that you aren't going to sound very good. So my job is to make it look good.